With the Pritzker and now the Sterling Prize, her dynamic and theatrical buildings are unveiling across 4 continents. I spoke at length to Zaha for the Sunday feature, and in the programme we attend the opening of her new Maxi Contemporary Art Gallery in Rome, the Transport Museum on the Clyde that opens in the spring, the acclaimed new Academy School in Brixton, and of course the Aquatic Centre on the 2012 Olympic site. We find out what drives Zaha now that she's no longer an architect in waiting, but mistress of a 400-strong studio that is, to quote one critic, making the weather in world architecture. That's this evening here on Radio 3 at 9:30pm.
After our drama On 3, which takes a step into a possible and perhaps not too distant future, a future where we can create interactive avatars of the recently deceased. Some see this as a gift to the grief-stricken, how wonderful to be able to see and speak with those that we thought we'd lost forever. Others, though, find the whole idea an abomination. Claire Price, Sian Thomas and Khalid Abdalla star in Perpetual Light by Melissa Murray. The play contains strong language.
Perhaps I'm not being clear.
I am here to assist you.
Actually, I am being clear. I couldn't be any clearer.
Please continue.
I'm going to say exactly the same things. Are you going to say exactly the same things in reply? Dialogue of the death?
We don't countenance the use of insulting, abusive or pejorative terms to our personnel.
I need to get a flight to London this afternoon.
Flights are available.
Yes, but to repeat, I don't have enough in my carbon account not to get to London today.
That's correct. You have enough for a flight today to Frankfurt, to Istanbul or to Nice.
The thing is, I don't want to go to Frankfurt, Istanbul or Nice, do I?
I'm sending details of all today's available flights and your carbon range to your phone.
I don't want them. I want to go to London.
The first flight available to you for London is Thursday morning.
I have to get back today.
We sympathise with your difficulties.
He really is dead, you know. It's not a con. My father really is dead. He died last night. I have to get home.
We sympathise with your difficulties. A courtesy grief counsellor is available on the 2nd floor of the Congress.
Oh, bloody hell!
We don't countenance the use of insulting, abusive or pejorative terms to our personnel.
Help me! Please help me!
I am here to assist you.
I have to get home. My mother is on her own. She won't be able to cope.
It is a difficult situation.
Is there nothing I can do? Is there any way to get some extra carbon into my account? I'm willing to pay for it. I'm willing to do anything.
Such an offer could be considered an offence under both financial and security regulations. It has been logged.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean...
I'm here to assist you.
I'd like to book a flight for Thursday to London, please.
An aisle or window seat, Miss Hellier.
Barbara? Off. Turn that off. Barbara? I'm home. It's me. I'm sorry. Barbara? Mum?
There is no milk.
What?
Repeating, there is no milk. The Love
Bugger
Life butter,
off.
ideal for spring.
Where the hell are you? Sorry.
Oh, hello.
I was asleep. Have you been out here for long? Who are you?
First of all, let me express my sincere condolences.
Do you know where my mother is?
She's not here? Perhaps that's just as well. Rachel, isn't it? I've looked you up.
I've tried ringing her, but she doesn't answer.
Yes, I've had the same experience.
Who are you again?
The Undertaker, Samwise Castleford, at your service.
You look too young.
And you look wonderful. Better in real life.
What?
We can talk about that another time. Can I come in? Oh, lovely room.
Do you think so? Sit down.
And my next line, sincerely, is, it must have come as a great shock.
You're the Undertaker.
You're probably surprised to see me physically here. It's an old-fashioned firm, very sold on the direct personal thing. That makes the funeral experience nice and human, they think, intimate. And in this instance, I agree with them.
Would you like... Oh, there's no milk for tea or coffee. Do you take milk?
Let's sit down.
I'm fine.
Death is hard, Rachel, very hard, in this day and age particularly. We're used to the reset button. We're used to being in control. We're used to instant access. And then when someone we love, becomes permanently unobtainable, it's hard. So very hard, mentally. I'm going to ask you a question. How are you, for the record?
How am I? It took me 3 days to get home. Can you believe it? They might have let me get home quicker if he was dying, actually dead. What did it matter? That's what they thought. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can. I can believe you. To business now. I've only spoken very briefly to your mother, and there is a chance I've misunderstood her instructions.
Instructions? Oh, of course. We should wait for her to get home. She's got to be back soon. She hardly ever leaves the house.
People can find the discussion about arrangements very difficult. There's a desire, entirely understandable, to cut matters short, agree to any suggestion. That's where a company like ours comes into its own. We're ethical. We don't rush our clients into extravagant and expensive commitments. I'm paraphrasing here. Please, sit down, be comfortable.
Sorry, I can't. I can't sit still. It helps moving about. I think it's shock still. I don't know. I wasn't prepared for this. Well, of course I wasn't, idiot.
We've had a number of calls from friends and colleagues of your father from the university asking us about arrangements, the service, etc. We've not been able to tell them anything.
He was born into some sect or other, unrecon Catholic, I think, but he didn't...
Your mother apparently doesn't want a service, Catholic or otherwise, or a funeral ceremony. She said she doesn't care what we do with the body. She'll give us no instructions. She said to me she's not interested. She won't pay for anything. Sorry to put it so crudely.
What are you talking about?
His body is with us. She hasn't decided to employ another firm as far as I know. It can be hard to accept the loss of someone. There can be denial, which can take various forms. Are you an only child?
I'm 27. Yes, I'm an only child.
My next bit is the heart of the matter. The last thing we want to do is intrude at a time like this, but storage is expensive, and I'm afraid I must get a clearer sense of what's required. Can you make a decision?
She said she doesn't want a funeral. That doesn't
Perhaps she has an old-fashioned idea of what's on offer. Quoting, "We very much tailor the event to suit individual requirements, as private or as public as desired. We can supply choirs, poets, priests, comedians even. We can put together slideshows, hollow shows, memorial collages, anything. Themed events, music, carbon-neutral cremations, interments, embalming, cryogenic..."
That's fine. I'll talk to her. We'll decide something.
Brilliant girl. I'll liaise with you. We'll talk. We'll communicate.
Can you go now, please?
Come on, darling. Come on, keep coming. Kick your legs.
There you are.
Barbara. Oh, God, Mum.
Let me look. Where did you find this?
It was in my room. I suddenly remembered it. It was the summer he taught me to swim.
Do you think he looked better with short hair? Can I have this?
Sure, of course. Anything. Mum.
You got back then?
Turn off. How are you? I'm so sorry I couldn't get here before this. I really tried.
But it wasn't your fault.
Are you all right?
And what do you think? I look all right, don't I?
I just can't seem to take it in. Can you?
Did you sleep in those clothes?
I've been stuck in some Euro hotel for 3 days. Why wouldn't you answer the phone? No, let's not argue.
Could you make me some tea? I keep feeling incredibly thirsty.
There's no milk in the fridge.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Was it... How was it?
Quick, apparently. He was in the office, waiting to see one of his students.
Good. That it was quick.
Well, they say that, but of course we can't know how long he felt it. It may only have been seconds in real time, but subjectively I suppose it could have felt like hours. People try to comfort you.
And one must resist the temptation to be comforted, of course. Sorry, that was terrible. That was a terrible thing to say.
Your cousin Jazz is here.
What? Why?
Well, he just showed up on the doorstep.
Is he staying in the house? I thought he wasn't allowed to travel on personal business.
He's sleeping on the floor of William's study. He won't bother you. Be nice to him. You're going to stay, aren't you? You're not going to move out.
I don't have anywhere else to go. Not that I would go, even if I did. I'm here, Mum.
William's dead.
We both loved him so much. This peculiar man was here earlier. He said he was from the undertakers. He said some rather odd things about the funeral.
I'll have tea with a slice of lemon. More refreshing, anyway.
What are you doing?
Engaging in physical labour in an effort to distract myself from 3 major preoccupations. You're one of them.
Right, you're still on that telling the truth thing.
Yes.
I can't believe you're here. That they let you come. Aren't you going to give me a hug?
No. Men are animals. It's lovely to see you. How are you, Rachel?
I keep asking myself that. How am I?
I thought I'd have a delayed reaction, but it just hit me. Straight on. I'd never see him again. Never in this world. He was like a father to me.
He was like one to me as well.
Was I being insensitive?
No. No. I know you loved him. You're sweating. It's too hot to dig like that. Take your jacket off, for God's sake.
I'd rather you didn't take his name in vain.
Don't do that to me.
I have to say it.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm upset and a bit near the edge. I want you just to be Jazz. Don't spew all that retooled Christian reform stuff at me, all that latter-day crypto crap. Please, I don't think I could bear it. I don't want you to tell me it's all in the hands of the man above. I don't want you telling me Dad is in a better place.
He could very well be in a worse one.
Lovely. I need a drink. Has she been drinking?
No.
I thought not. It's hard to know how to talk to her sober. Have you said anything to her?
Not about that.
You look thinner, older. Are you all right? Thank you for coming.
I had to come.
So you're still involved with all the... what's a neutral term for your particular set of headbangers? Well, at least you're consistent. I've given up my search for a meaningful existence. Is that the end of the conversation?
No.
Well, since you ask, I gave up being a leading light of No More Damage in March.
Why?
I loved the life. Going pre-tech. I've been offline for 2 years. Can you believe? Sleeping in a sod hut, making food by hand. We decided everything in real time, in person. Everything was actual. No machines.
But...
I didn't want to see what was going on around me in the camp. People spending half their time in VR, which made going offline a bit nonsensical. All these keen idealists walking around with burn marks on the sides of their heads. Pitiful.
And what did you do?
And then some started using empty until they were pretty much empty. We dumped them outside the hospitals and drove off. We thought we were different. It ate us up from the inside, just like everyone else. I came home. Have you come home?
My home is not in this world.
I just hate it when you say stuff like that.
I'd like to save you.
Do you know what I'm doing now? The only work I could get. The dirtiest, most immoral job on the planet. Couriering documents the major corps won't trust to the net. So I burn a gazillion gallons of fuel to deliver them in person, hand to hand. Disgusting. Dig deeper with that spade, Jazz, and I'll bury myself alive.
My poor Rachel.
How long will you be here? I can't live on my own with my mother. I say that. I have very little money and no resources. I've nowhere else to go. I'm sure Dad had to persuade her to let me back. Now, of course, she wants me. Can you imagine the two of us living together?
You need to get calm. You need to listen to me.
I'm not sure I want to be calm. I don't want to take this well. I loved him. He may have been the only person in the world I did love. What's wrong with grief?
She's refusing to have a funeral. Did you know that?
Yes.
Do you know why?
Mad old drunk?
She's gone to Maken.
I know the name. Sorry, I'm still catching up. I've only been back for a couple of months. I'm not used to things anymore. People seem odd, disjointed or something. Or maybe I am. I'm out of sync.
Maken are about to be a major corp. Your mother's decided that she's going to put all her energy and all her money into constructing an avatar of William. That's where she was this afternoon.
So everyone has commemorative sites of one kind or another.
This is Maken. It's not just a commemorative site, it's a complete composition, a reconstruction of William Hellier down to the tiniest detail, with functionality.
What does that mean?
It means it's wrong, Rachel. They make whole self-simulations. It will move and speak, sound and talk like William. It will seem alive. It may even think it is alive. Nothing in the world is more wrong than that. You must persuade her. She won't listen to me.
You're talking about software. On-screen software, come on.
In your language, Maken are about exploiting the grieving and seriously deepening the cultural fracture. Denaturing us.
And what are they doing in yours? Are they part of a satanic conspiracy dedicated to dragging us all to hell?
Yes. Exactly that.
Jazz has just told me about
He's been so useful. Next week he's going to clean out the attic.
He was telling me about Maken. About this plan to build Dad a memorial site. He seemed worried that it was too much, too expensive.
You've been talking together.
Just talking.
We can make an appointment to go in to see Maken tomorrow. They can explain things to you. They've been insisting on speaking to you, in fact.
Good. Let's do that. What about the funeral?
They sent me an estimate. Ridiculous. It's waste disposal, after all. No use to me.
We still have
to... Do you think I'm made of money? Do you know how much Maken charges? That's enough, Rachel. I'm very fragile.
I know.
Get your hair cut this afternoon. You might as well look your best for tomorrow.
I'm afraid the only thing I can offer you is water.
Company policy. No intoxicants of any kind.
This meeting is being recorded.
In accordance with legal requirements.
What legal requirements?
Ours. It protects us all, though. We are sending you a copy as we speak.
You can imagine the number of lawsuits a company like Maken attracts.
It's my business. It's not hers. He was my husband.
Strictly speaking, Barbara, yes. But it's better if all those closest to the deceased are in agreement.
Rachel.
Would you mind telling me your names?
We're not here as individuals.
How else are you here?
Continuing. We offer a transitional space in which the bereaved can come to terms with their loss.
My father is dead. I want him remembered in an ordinary, human way.
There's no contradiction.
I told you what she was like.
What do you mean? What did you tell them?
I found some samples of his physical handwriting. Notes from a field trip before I met him. From the days when we did handwriting.
Ah, lovely.
Gosh.
What you've done to my father is so invasive. I hate the thought of it.
Hate is a strong word. What don't you understand?
You've sliced and diced him. Got his code, his biochemical signature, his synaptic network mapped. You scoped him, living and dead, right?
Right.
You've logged every word he wrote, every contact in the public domain, his private correspondence as well. You have that. His sweat, his semen and his stool samples, and from that you intend to make some diddly dolly. A walk-em, talk-em plaything for her. To comfort her. I'm worried it'll drive her mad. You don't know what she's like. I have to be blunt. She has low self-regard. She designs door handles for a living. She used to be a painter.
Your mother is a lovely woman.
I'm not saying...
And you look so much like her.
Don't tell her that.
Look, Rachel, People in prehistory painted the bones of the dead and put them in jars. Later they took photographs and put them on tombstones.
They composed poems, built monuments.
All people, everywhere and every time, remember their dead. We don't just forget them.
And that's all Maken is doing. It's an act of remembrance.
We create a simulacrum from all the information we can find and make a software model. That's all it is. A pixelated shadow that resembles the lost beloved.
A pixelated shadow that resembles the lost beloved. Lovely.
It is not that person. It has no more autonomy than a wooden statue, an old photograph.
It moves and speaks and...
A hologram recordings move and speak.
It stays behind the wall screen. Not VR. It's a program you can watch and interact with. High functionality, hard definition. Yes, the specs are skyward, but in the end it is what it is. Your mother understands this. She's been evaluated.
They told me I know what I'm doing.
I'm still not sure about this at all. For a start, it's so expensive.
Yes.
Madly expensive.
Thank you for coming.
What?
We won't be proceeding. Thank you for your interest.
Don't! No, you can't do that. Don't go.
I haven't actually said
We
that.
won't be proceeding, though. We don't like conflict.
We don't like to be the cause of conflict.
I hate you.
We won't be proceeding. Thank you for your interest.
This is how they manipulate.
Listen, Willie.
I haven't actually said
We won't be proceeding, though. We don't like conflict.
We don't like to be the cause of conflict.
I hate you.
Then they got up like Tweedledum and Tweedledee and left the room.
Can I speak now?
No. What do you think, George?
Well,
I was married to William. I'm the one. He was the only person I was ever married to. We had a loving relationship. I was the centre of his life. I want this. I will not have him erased, abducted. I will not have him dead in this fashion. I deserve the opportunity to say farewell. I want to say goodbye with some dignity to the man I loved. I love.
Sitting in a room with some sim made to look and sound like Dad isn't necessarily going to help.
Yes, it is.
I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here. I'm happy to help with the
Funeral.
the funeral arrangements and so on.
Do you think Dad would have wanted this?
How can I answer that?
honestly?
You can help with the arrangements, George, if you want to. I don't mind. That's up to Rachel. She can do what she likes about it.
It being my father's dead body.
I won't attend the funeral anyway. He won't be there.
This simulation idea, I'm not sure how I'd feel about seeing him again. What would it be like? Better or worse?
I'm going to bed.
It's mid-afternoon.
Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him. May he rest in peace. Amen.
Lovely. I suppose. Perpetual light.
I've contacted a very good priest.
She's gone into the kitchen for another drink.
He's state certified. Not one of my lot. Rachel thinks my friends and I are all boggle-eyed fanatics.
That's because you are.
Let's have a funeral with flowers and singing and prayers and people speaking kindly about your dad. It will comfort you.
Will it?
I'm hoping it will comfort me.
Maken has nothing to do with comfort.
If it gets her over the next few months... Oh, I don't know.
He's dead. Dead.
You are such a help, Jazz. What? Mum?
I've been talking to Maken.
How did you get in my room?
I've override on everything. It's my house. I've been talking.
What the hell time is it?
You look tired.
So do you. You look appallingly tired. Or as appalling as you ever look. Why aren't you asleep?
No drugs. Until the situation is resolved, nothing. They take a precautionary tox count every time I see them.
You were drinking this afternoon.
Well, you drove me to it. No, that's unfair. Anyway, I'll be sober by the time I go in. I've made another appointment.
It's what? 4 in the morning? How can you have been in contact with them?
Maken doesn't sleep. It's a corp. They've agreed to go ahead, but they'll make me pay an insurance surcharge just in case you sue. A very large surcharge. I can't afford that as well. You have to sign up.
Mum,
I'm going ahead anyway. I'll sell the house if I have to. The house you live in. Where will you go?
you don't have to threaten me.
I have so rarely asked you for anything.
That's not my fault. Maybe it is. I think we have to start again. We have to be better with each other. It's what he would have wanted.
You need never see him. It's not as though you can access him on an ordinary computer. You have to go to their shrine.
Shrine?
It's just what they're called. It's just a place at Maken. The sim is site-specific. It's to protect him. No one can hack in and change him. He's responsive, but only to you and me. Just us. When have I asked you for anything?
You've already said that.
And you said you wanted things to be different. This would be the start. Please, Rachel, be on my side. Help me. I know it's not your father. It's just a simulation, a pathetic comfort thing for a pathetic woman. Please.
It's okay. It's okay. You said, I hate you.
When?
When we were at the Maken offices.
I do hate them.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
You're my daughter.
I keep feeling nothing. Nothing, and then I'm desolate. I wake up in the morning as normal, and then there's this feeling. For a split second, I know something terrible's happened, but I can't remember what it is.
I need him. I'm nothing without him. Without him looking at me, I barely exist.
That's a bit extreme.
Isn't it just? They want us in for 9 tomorrow morning. Don't say a word to Jazz. Good night. And thank you.
Why?
It's procedure.
It's monstrous.
No, it's not. It's standard procedure.
It's standard procedure.
I'd love to hear what Jazz will make of this. Signing my name in blood, a pact with the devil.
A blood sample is standard procedure to ensure that you, at the time of contractual agreement, are free from pharmaceutical influence.
Just do it, and I can go in and see him.
I'm not going in with you.
Just do it!
Surely a saliva sample is enough. Why do I have to give blood?
It's procedure.
William? William? Is anyone there? There's no one here.
I was in the other room, waiting.
Were you?
It's a polite fiction.
You look well.
Yes. So do you.
This is one of your favourite dresses.
Red is a warm colour.
Is that really you?
How are you coping?
Oh, not so bad. Bloody awful. I thought I'd never see you again.
Is Rachel at home?
Yes.
I hope my 2 girls are being good to one another.
Do you love me? Tell me you love me.
I love you. It's all right to cry.
Did it... What was it?
I hope this isn't too distressing for you.
You don't mind that I brought you back?
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see you. You've lost weight. Have you been drinking again?
I don't want you asking me that.
I won't then.
You look very handsome.
I have optimal resolution.
It's not the way I imagined. It's not like looking at a screen or anything. It's like looking through a glass wall. The room your side looks real.
Good.
Oh, it's not an especially nice-looking place. It is a bit like a dentist's waiting room.
That's one thing, I suppose. I'll never have to go to the dentist again.
You hated dentists.
Yes, he did. Didn't he? Not for any good reason. There's no pain nowadays.
Next time, can you make the room a
That's
bit more...
not up to me.
It's drab. And that chair doesn't look comfortable. Can I get you something better?
Don't fuss.
Oh, that's just how he talked. wish I could be with you.
Put your palm against the glass. I'll do the same. It will feel like we're touching.
Sorry. It's rather a busy schedule this morning. The 10:30's at the door, I'm afraid.
That's it?
I expected more people.
It was dignified, very dignified. The old priest definitely lent it a touch. Where'd you find him? Such a sermon. More might have come if they'd known he was on offer.
My cousin found him.
Where is Jazz?
Over there, saying prayers.
You have to have some sort of attraction nowadays. People aren't as keen on funerals as they used to be. I'm sure your father was a very popular man.
He was. What do we do now? Shall we have a coffee?
I don't really know what to do. It's all so abrupt.
Coffee'd be lovely.
Thank you, Mr. Castleford, for everything.
Samwise. Please call me Samwise, Rachel.
Unusual name.
A hobbit in Lord of the Rings. My mother was a devotee, still is. Most of the time she's an entwife.
Where is Jazz? I want to go.
I'll get him.
Can we stay in touch? I picked up a sense that you didn't want me to come with you for a coffee now.
Stay in touch?
Yes.
What for?
I like you.
Oh, there's my cousin.
I'll send you my link. Take a look. Either way, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. Visa.
Yes, Visa.
This tastes very nice.
Thank you.
You went again today?
Yes.
You're spending half your time in that place. That shrine. Aren't you going to say anything?
No. Not at the moment.
1 minute, you can't shut up, we're all damned, then... When are you planning to go? To get back to your real sanctified life?
I'll go when I'm told to.
In the meantime, you cook and clean and make yourself indispensable?
Yes.
Why?
It's part of the plan.
Saffron?
A very small amount.
Are you going to ask us about the funeral?
No. When's your next trip?
I'm off to Luxembourg tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday.
You're both welcome to stay for a while.
What does that mean?
It's a plain sentence. No hypertext.
Thank you.
What's it like?
Marvellous. He's happy. I make sure to tell him he's happy.
George said he'd clear out Dad's office.
You keep what you want. I don't need anything.
Don't we get offered any?
Oh, Jazz doesn't take intoxicants, and you never drink with me. It's a principal position of yours.
Pour me a glass, will you, Mum? I'd like to propose a toast to Dad. To all the people he was. His mother's son. The 6-year-old who fell out of a tree and broke his leg and his arm. The A student who managed to get expelled twice. George's friend. The man who started going bald at 25. The kayak king. The water skier. The man who married Barbara. The man with a child. The man who read stories to me. Who taught me. Who taught me. The man who looked after Mum.
Cheers, then.
I hadn't finished.
It was getting a bit mawkish.
Can't we talk about him? Why can't we talk about him? How many times have we seen that? Her trailing out the room, glass in hand, having caused the row she walks out on.
You caused the row.
I have to get a proper job.
There aren't any.
I can't stay here. What did she mean when she said we were welcome to stay a while? 1 minute she's begging me not to go, and now she doesn't care. She thinks she's got him back now. She doesn't need me. I thought things would be different. She doesn't need anyone. And this is only the beginning. I shouldn't have agreed.
No, you shouldn't have. Your poor father.
Dad? He's dead. He's at peace.
He's not at peace.
I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
I wish it wasn't true. There's someone I want you to meet.
I'm a middle-aged fat man with very poor interpersonal skills. A lecher, a self-lover. I'm a man who likes to hear the sound of his own voice. An arrogant man plagued with self-doubt, with God-doubt, who can only feel certain for seconds at a time of divine reality, let alone divine redemption. Truly, I am your leader tonight.
I'm a cruel woman who likes to humiliate those weaker than me. Truly.
I'm ruthless. I want to do damage. I disappoint myself. I'm full of rage, truly.
I despise the people who pity me. I make sure everyone pities me, truly.
I'm self-righteous and uncertain. I act, but I'm uncertain. I'm the perfect disciple, without the courage or grace to take control. Truly. You next.
I'm Rachel.
Come on, you can do better than that.
I'm Rachel, and I don't trust you.
Then why are you here?
He made me come. He thought it would do me good to sit in a cellar with 6 nut jobs and talk about Satan or something.
What's your relationship to Satan?
I'm leaving.
Rachel, this is my cousin. I've told you about my cousin. She's the opposite of us, the diametric. Not one thing in common except for one thing. Maken. She hates them too.
I don't...
Her father died. Her mother went to Maken. She's pledged his pension, her savings, and the house equity for a full version avatar. Sit down, Rachel.
She's done what?
Oh yes, with an option for her own eventual upload. It's all very expensive.
She wouldn't do that.
Your mother is a daughter of these times.
That's everything she has. What's she supposed to live on?
What about you? Your home. But it's not her own precarious situation that worries my cousin.
It isn't, you bastard.
Her mother and mine were sisters. Opposites again. My mother was ugly, untalented, and unlucky. Dead. But she saved me. She saved her son. She wrote my name in the Book of the Covenant.
Lord. Okay, I wasn't happy about this Maken thing, but I agreed. My mother and I... Oh, that's not relevant. I don't want her to be unhappy. She's... If you people have some information on Maken, some facts, anything I can take to my mother to get her to change her mind, to pull the plug on this ghost in the machine, I'd be... Well, I suppose I'd be grateful.
I'll speak plainly. This world is ruined.
Yes.
I think we can agree on that, Miss Hellion.
We're in an irreversible process.
Hallelujah.
Who? Why? What forces are arrayed against us?
The corpse, the government, and our good friend human greed.
The same forces. The ancient forces that tried to ruin heaven. You can't leave the other side of the equation out. God and the devil. For hundreds of years we tried to look the other way. We wanted to be Buddhists, blameless. We wanted a blameless universe, or something like that. Something quiet. It doesn't work. It isn't true.
I've had one sermon this week.
We're in a war situation.
We're always in a war situation. Oh, yes. With all that justifies the other bastards that blew up the maternity ward.
It was an abortion clinic.
It was not. Truly.
It wasn't us, it was the far-gone Baptists.
Do I give a shit which particular head flip faction was involved?
We believe in life. We're pro-life. And we believe in death. We're pro-death. Natural, i.e. God-given death. Arbitrary, seemingly senseless, bitter death. The thing that makes being human truly unbearable and truly human. No one should take that away from us. It offends God. Christ is the resurrection, not Maken. It is sin we're talking about here, the ultimate sin.
I thought that was sex.
No, personally, I wish it was. Sex is mere distraction. We're talking here about hubris. That's what the Greeks called it. Once we built Babel. We wanted to enter heaven, to force the door open, but God broke the tower. He cast it down. Brick and stone he cast down and broke our tongues too. So what do you suppose he will do with us now? Now that we've defied him and made ourselves immortal.
I can't listen to this. It's just embarrassing. It's a piece of software. A nasty piece of expensive software. Cruel, I grant you. A mockery, I grant you.
More than a mockery. We are indivisible. We arrive in heaven resurrected, the mind, soul, and body reunited on that last day. And if we in our arrogance drag back the mind from death, remake a simulacrum of the body, then the soul too is forced back here. He's here, your father. A firefly in a jam jar. They have your poor father's poor soul trapped in that shrine. In limbo.
No.
In what state of distress? A torment we can only imagine.
No.
Listen, Rachel.
It is not him. Don't fall for that. That's the covert marketing. We sell you a simulation, but wink, wink, it really is your dear departed. That's what they want people to believe, unofficially denying it. That thing is a bunch of binary code. It's not my father. It is nonsense. You can't believe that they can really recreate a human consciousness.
I believe in God. I believe in the devil. I believe in endless possibilities.
Goodbye. Good night. Fuck off.
Well done, Jazz. You got her here. I'm proud of you. Now go after her.
Wait!
What good did that do? Why did you take me there? What were you thinking? What are you up to?
Don't ask me.
Why not?
Because I'd have to tell you the truth.
You've got to get away from those people. You can't believe all that rubbish.
The only reason I do is because it's true.
What help were they? They had nothing. I was hoping for something useful, some nasty conspiracy or other, some muddy little secrets I could use against Maken. What am I going to do?
Have you thought about taking legal action?
Can't. I signed in blood.
Without William, I would have been lost. I know he didn't agree with the choices I made.
He thought they were idiotic.
If he and your mother hadn't taken me in...
You can overdo the gratitude thing. He was a nice man, yes.
I cry every night for him.
Really?
I can't let this rest. I picture the torment.
Have you ever noticed how nothing anyone says makes sense anymore? People in airports, my mother, even the bloody Undertaker. I don't include you and your chums. I don't expect sense from you and your lot. Oh, look! Shooting star.
It's just space junk.
It's a shooting star. And we should make a wish. Let's wish he wasn't dead. I don't cry every night. I don't like crying. I don't like the way one's breathing goes, the sharp sensation, I don't know how to describe it, in the bridge of one's nose just before the welling up, all of it. Why are you here?
Why do you think I'm here?
Because of me.
You used to have so many friends.
Yes. And lovers. Very nice lovers, as I recall.
Some not so nice.
You paid more attention to them than I did.
I love you.
I know. When you came, were you hoping I'd be all broken down with grief and that I'd fall howling into your arms?
Yes.
Truly?
It was a possibility. Not a strong one, perhaps.
I'd be willing to have sex.
No.
I'd probably be quite keen once we got going.
You say the sweetest things.
Are you allowed to have sex? Well, if the actual act isn't kosher, is that the right expression? We could get a hollow made, using us, and sit down hand in hand and watch it.
I don't want that from you.
What do you want?
She's at the shrine every day. She's hardly eating.
It's a bit cheeky of them calling it a shrine, isn't it?
Have you anywhere else to live?
No.
If she sells the house, what will you do?
I don't know what I'll do. My life is a bit stripped down at the moment. My old friends and lovers are not entirely impressed with how I make my living nowadays, and I did walk out on them.
A renegade, slut, whore and traitor.
She's drinking a lot.
So what? So am I.
You can't tell me to stop.
I can. Stop.
But is that really you telling me? Or just a boring old echo of him?
I'm telling you to stop. Don't cut down. Stop drinking. Stop.
You sound angry.
I am concerned for your health.
You really do actually sound angry. It's brilliant. Tell me you love me.
I love you.
Is that you? Is that really you, William?
No.
The time I was happiest was that weekend in France. Do you remember? We had those big old bikes, enormous, rusty things, and we cycled and cycled for hours.
3 hours and 24 minutes.
How do you know that?
Trade secret.
I suppose if I got sick, if anything happened to me, you'd just be left sitting in this room on your own. Is that how it would be? You'd miss me then.
Thank you for the shirt and the trousers.
You're welcome. If I met someone else, if I just didn't bother to come anymore, what would happen to you?
I'm not sure.
You don't want to talk about this, do you? I know why. You thought you were free of me. You thought at least now I'm dead I'll be free of her. I'm your bad angel, aren't I? I was. You couldn't believe that behind that beautiful facade I was just... You couldn't bear to believe you were drawn in by something so vulgar as mere appearance. I'm a mess. You should have seen that from the start. What does that say about you that you couldn't see that from the start? What? What does it say about you that you stayed? You stayed with me. Why did you stay with me?
How is your work?
Oh, change the subject. Fine. I'm off work. You took a holiday.
Is that a good idea?
I paid for a year in advance for you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
You always demeaned my work.
We don't have to go through old rows.
This is how I always talked to you. Nothing's changed. Let's make a change. I'd like another child. A nice one this time. Why not? Rachel's not going to have a baby. She'll never get the points now. We could come and see you. I suppose you'd like to see her. See Rachel.
Yes.
No. You're mine.
Junk. Definite junk. I think this must be one of his students.
Fee?
Yes, correct. It belongs to a student, thank you.
It's yours?
Yes.
You handwrite your essays?
It was a joke. A test. We were doing old-time reconstruction. Steve made onion soup and cried. This person handwrote an essay. The wrist became inflamed. That made him laugh. Not from cruelty, but from the logical consequence of action.
What?
Don't worry about it, Rachel.
What will we do with the books, the hard copies? Is there a library in the university still?
Yes.
The chair was personal.
Personal? It was his chair?
The chair was personal.
He owned the chair?
Correct.
Well, it can stay here. Or you can have it, if you like.
In what sense have?
I'm giving you the chair, if you want it.
You don't have to take it. It's a gift from William's daughter to you. It implies no obligation. It isn't a transaction.
There will be a momentary pause.
She's thinking about
Do
it.
they have to talk like that?
I suppose it's a bit ironic, imitating the way the corpse speak, but they do take it that step further. I quite like it myself.
The gift is received with gratitude.
Lovely.
Professor Hellier was warm, kind, generous of thought. He was gentle, encouraging and non-judgmental. He did not confine people. He did not mention previous mistakes of people. He did not decide that only premium intellects were of value. He spoke carefully and would repeat himself when requested. He didn't sleep with people. He didn't pass remarks or suggest personal improvements. He possessed affection. He received affection.
William collected the waifs and strays.
I suppose he did.
She won't last here now. He was a lovely man. I loved him. I don't mean that only happened very occasionally.
I didn't know.
It's not much of a secret. Not that important.
I'm not sure what to say.
How are things between you and Jazz progressing?
He appears to only want me for my mind, my soul. I'm very lonely, I think. I'm very something, anyway.
Well, that's the room pretty much sorted out. Can you manage to carry that box to the car?
The box can be carried. Would people be interested in having a cup of coffee?
Unfortunately, there's a seminar in 15 minutes.
Maybe we could meet up sometime. Have lunch or something. There's things I want to talk to you about. Lots of things.
I used to wish I was like William, but I'm not. Bye, Rachel. Good luck. With everything.
Right.
At the next junction, I will take a left into Warrington Avenue.
You honestly don't have to keep telling me.
Our estimated time of arrival is 11 minutes.
I'd like some music, some jazz, mid-last century stuff.
There is a possibility of rain this afternoon.
Music.
I can't comply.
What do you mean?
She means she can't comply. It can't comply. Your sat-nav's been hacked.
Oh, God.
I'm not rogue advertising. You can relax.
Police?
Not an organ of the state, no.
A pervert? I'll press the panic button.
No. I'm someone you know.
Mary? Rashid?
No, not them. You're still on the banned list as far as they are concerned.
Car stop.
I don't have control of the car. This isn't a kidnap. This isn't anything. Please relax. I'm just trying to get into contact.
Dad?
This is going very wrong. This was supposed to be amusing. Can't you guess who it is?
No.
Who's been trying to get into contact? Who's left 4 messages? Sent his link twice? Come on.
The bloody Undertaker.
Samwise.
Can you talk in your own voice, please? It's creepy.
No. Your mum's car is too low grade. And you haven't got your phone with you, so I can't ring you. How can you walk around without your phone? Did you look at the stuff I sent you? You should have. I crunched all our stuff together. Interests, temperament, our little foibles. I researched you. Ran both our profiles on High Rank, which is the optimal social compatibility program, as you know.
I don't.
And we are very compatible. We're a potential 5-year relationship with minimal long-term damage. That's good. That's the best projection I've ever had.
Switch off.
The software warned me not to do this. It warned me of an 85% chance of strategic failure. I was too impatient, too excited. I need to learn to listen. Rachel? Rachel, are you there?
What are you doing?
Jazz is in the garden planting something.
What are you doing?
Taking control.
I see.
It's doing me good, seeing William. And here's the proof of it. He told me to stop drinking. Just stop. So I will.
You don't drink gin. I do.
I'm helping us both then. Think of the statistics, the heredity issue. You can uncork those wine bottles.
No.
Now that's interesting. Why not? Why won't you help me?
I had to leave your car in town.
I'll tell him you wouldn't help me.
I'm sorry about that. Leaving the car, I mean. Were you there all afternoon? Again?
He would never wear strong colours before. I used to tell him they'd suit him. Of course he didn't listen. But now he looks lovely.
Does he?
Yes, he does. I bought him a chair to sit in and a computer to keep him amused when I'm not there.
You bought him?
Uncork the bottles, will you? I think I'll sit down. Ooh, the smell is making me feel funny. I don't know how you can drink gin.
You bought him a computer? Does that make sense?
It's a very ancient human tradition. Buying things for the ones we've lost. I think the Chinese used to burn paper money.
Now they just burn ours.
Oh, don't start that.
Anyway.
It's my money, it's my house, and it's my husband. I own the copyright.
I doubt it. It's a con. You know that. The avatar isn't real, but your money is.
They offer an upload service for existing customers. I've signed on. One day we'll be together again. You can come and see us.
I doubt that as well.
We'll be together. I don't think he likes me. He says the right things. I make him. But is he sincere?
How can he be?
Pour me a glass, will you? Reasonably large.
What are you planting? Apple trees. Aren't you going to speak to me?
For thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands. Refusing her grand hest, she did confine thee, by help of her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which rift, imprisoned, thou didst painfully remain. 12 years, within which space she died, and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans, as fast as mill wheels strike.
What's that supposed to mean?
Him. He's the confined spirit.
My mother's to blame, is that what you're saying? Have you seen the state she's in?
He's inside that thing, without rest, without sleep, light, endless aching light, thinking, tormented, made a puppet of, conjured up on their cruel little screens, made to speak and act, conscious but without control of his actions.
Will you shut up?
A moment ago you were asking me to speak.
What can I do?
Do you want me to answer that?
No.
We used to play hide and seek in this garden.
A sentence loaded with subtext. Anyway, we only played it once or twice. You weren't that young when you came here. Look, I agree there's something wrong. There's something wrong with what Maken's doing. Something profoundly wrong. What would we do with eternal life as we are now, big bald apes with nasty appetites? And even if it's not that, even if it's just people sitting in a room whispering to the dead, it's... First it was porn, gambling, VR, and now it's this. We're in a bad way, but then we always have been. It's not her fault. Oh, so what? Anyway, that's what I keep thinking. So what? He's dead, that's the truth.
You should go and see him.
Sorry?
I think you should go and see him.
You do? Why? I thought you'd be absolutely
He might
against
say
me.
something. Something to convince you.
Convince me to do what?
To act.
I can't go and see him. You can't ask me to do that. It's always the same, isn't it?
I am here to answer your questions.
Okay. I'll ask a question. Why do I need to have a full body scan?
For security and other purposes.
Have I met you before?
The body scan does no known harm. It is painless. Do you have metal implants?
No.
Plastic implants?
No.
Any other kind of implant?
No. Can we get on with it?
The scan is completed.
You've done it with me standing here.
Yes. Do you have any other questions?
I'm frightened. Is that really my father in there, do you think?
Personal opinion?
Your personal opinion, yes.
Thank you for your cooperation. Please proceed.
Hello.
Hello.
Dad?
You're uncomfortable calling me that. Call me something else.
It looks like you.
Yes, but that's the least of it. Appearance.
The clothes are a bit...
Indeed. I can change the default. Is that better?
She likes to dress you up.
Yes. Dress up Dolly. Do you mind if I ask how you are?
Fine.
That's good. Though I note that you've lost 5 pounds, your blood pressure is up, and you have a slight hangover.
What was my favourite bedtime story?
I can't remember.
Yes, you can.
Then why ask me? You're not going to trip me. You're not going to trip Maken up like that. I'm word perfect.
Do you think you're my father?
No. Yes. No. Yes. It's all a bit binary, isn't it?
You seem agitated.
It's difficult seeing you.
Why?
I can't access that information.
Are you in pain?
Of course not. Pixels don't feel pain.
Do they feel anything?
How is your mother, in your opinion?
In my personal opinion? Oh, bad. It's not helping seeing you. I don't think so. William is dead. How does this help her to believe that?
Next time, could you bring a copy of my funeral, please?
Why?
Why?
You're dead. Trust me. Can't you access it yourself?
I'm not connected.
What do you mean?
I'm in a closed system. I can't get out. Nothing can get in. Security. It's non-hackable. I have databases to play with, but no real-time information. I can't get out.
Are you younger looking?
Yes. You can change me back. Just instruct me.
I'm trying to persuade Mum to shut you down.
Are you?
I can see her trotting in here year after year, going grey, and you getting younger and younger, looking more and more like a fairy tale prince, a vampire prince. I suppose you can grow fangs or wings or anything that was asked for.
How are you?
We don't talk. I'm sure we both wish we could help one another. She's drinking. She's not gone back to work. I can't get any work. And Jazz is planting an orchard in the garden. He thinks you're an abomination.
Does he?
He's right. You are. You are horrible. I want my father. I want him back. I don't know what I feel.
You are grieving now. What you are experiencing now is grief. I'm telling you this so that next time you feel that specific array of physical symptoms, you recognize it for what it is. Many people do not recognize what they are feeling. They experience only disconnect. You are not disconnected now.
What do you sound like?
Rachel, my poor girl.
Oh, what should I do? Help me.
I can't.
Are you unhappy?
You will come again, won't you?
Hooking me in?
Yes, I suppose that is the override intention. But I want to see you. Rachel?
Dad.
It's my responsibility to speak words of encouragement to you. At this moment, as we approach the crisis, you need the reassurance of a father figure. I am that man. You have done well, Jazz. Speak. Remember not to use certain words and not to appear too animated or too rigid.
I'll remember.
No rise in blood pressure or stress notes in our voices. We are under their surveillance at all times.
And we're under God's ever-present eye.
Are you drawing the comparison?
Forgive me. Rachel's been to see him. She's gone twice.
Does she tell you what he said?
Yes.
She trusts you?
Yes.
I trust you, which is more important, isn't it?
Yes.
Is she likely to convert?
No.
We won't catch her on the rebound from her old beliefs.
I don't think so, no.
We must rely on your seductive charm, then. How was she after seeing him?
Distressed.
But she went again.
Within days.
Have you used the word addictive?
She's used it to me.
Good. And the mother's drinking?
Accelerating.
Good. It's time, then.
It feels wrong.
It is wrong. We are his saints. That is why we must sin in order to save his creation. You won't weaken.
I will weaken.
But
I will do it.
Did you think eating food is disgusting? Shoving warm muck in one's mouth and grinding it down to a thin, nasty soup and swallowing it down day after day after day. What a process.
Just another few mouthfuls.
Bodies, I'm sick of them. You have to water them, feed them, put them to bed, wake them up, walk them round, give them sex. Same.
Eat the bread.
No, I won't eat the bread.
I tried to contact George again today.
What for?
Everything just bounces back. He doesn't want to speak to me.
He's had enough. It's simple.
I don't understand why, though.
People just do that. Cut off. Get bored. I think I'd like you to leave the house soon.
I don't have anywhere to go.
Well, there are hostels.
You want me to live in one of those? Besides, I think you need me.
I'll manage.
What would Dad think? I'd tell Dad.
And I'd tell him to forget you told him. He's mine.
Seriously, would you just throw me out?
Everything is optional in this world.
That's an advertising slogan. 2 more mouthfuls, come on.
I need money. I can get paying tenants.
I'm trying to get work. Why don't we go for a walk this afternoon? You don't have to go in to see him.
The truth is, George loved William. You were just an accessory. He was nice to you. He was even nice to me.
I thought of him as a kind of uncle.
So think again. I mean it. I need money.
Are you going to throw Jazz out as well?
He pays rent.
Does he?
A very good rent, in fact.
Where does he get the money from?
Stop looking at me. Stop pretending.
Pretending what?
I was a fool to let you see him. I don't want any more competition. Go away. Why do you want to stay?
You're my mother.
Which means what, exactly?
Mum.
I know in theory you're an autonomous individual, but when I look at you, I keep seeing myself. I keep seeing the resemblance to me. You look like me. I don't like that. I won't be judged by myself.
You can't manage by yourself. Look at the state you're in.
2 more weeks. Then I set up access denial to my house.
Rachel won't talk to me. She won't even open the door. I came in person to see her, but she won't speak to me. I came here. I am physically here. This is a nightmare.
I don't think so.
Did I ask you for your opinion?
No.
Why is she doing this to me? It's literally incomprehensible. I'm not upset. I'm not talking about my feelings here. My feelings towards her are pretty rudimentary, if you want to know. Almost non-existent. I don't even like the blonde ones usually. But just look at the data. What are the chances of that? We're in total sync, Rachel and I. 6 on context, for God's sake.
I'd rather you didn't blaspheme.
What? Look at the data yourself. I've nothing to hide.
I don't think she likes you.
I've created a bad impression. It needs to be erased. What are you doing?
Planting trees.
They're very small, aren't they?
That's how they start off.
Yeah. You're that religious nut.
Her cousin, yes.
I never tried religion.
I came to live with William and Barbara when I was 12. My mother was killed in the San Diego incident.
427 dead, 670 wounded, 83 amputees and 9 suicides. Full end there.
Rachel was a couple of years older. She was very kind in an offhand way. I was
Look, I'm
lost.
not interested in all that at the moment. I want you to help me.
Help you?
Exactly. You can check me up. I'm 74% on target and heading higher. That's much better than most people. I don't have murky little corners.
You move your feet.
You do, though.
Do what?
I check up on things. You've been in one of those militant monastery things. What are they called?
She's not for you.
Why not? People don't like undertakers. It's not fair. But do you wanna? Is that it?
You've no reason to be jealous.
Clearly not. You're a flatline. You really are, I swear. Look at me, I'm practically in tears about this. Okay then. In the name of Almighty God, I conjure you to help me.
No.
What's wrong with you? Don't you obey your God?
What's it like being an undertaker?
Well, I mostly do front of house. I don't get close to the things themselves. I don't get excited by the sad, muddy stuff. God, Rachel is an optimist, like me. Outgoing, but she's only 7 friends, and most of those are inactive. But she's lonely, she's in crisis. I'll use that. I'll make her happy. I want a woman and a baby. I have feelings. I think it could be authentic. Authentic in a real way. Well, you have to help me.
Why?
Why? Because I want you to. Aren't you listening?
He's gone.
God, you frightened me. What are you doing standing in the hallway like that?
He's in a bad way, the undertaker. He's in love with you. He wouldn't use those words, of course.
You two could form a little support group. Are you still crazy about me?
Is Barbara asleep?
I got her to eat some soup and bread. Alcohol and near anorexia. It's getting bad. I don't know how Dad managed it.
With patience and love?
She's going to throw me out. That way she can kill herself that little bit faster. What can we do, Jazz?
Will I cook dinner for us? Something special?
How did you get the money for rent?
I want to help.
Help who? Me? But there is an ulterior motive.
Yes.
Would you tell me what it is if I asked you?
I might. Or I might appear to tell you while concealing my real motives.
I want you to be a good man.
I am.
Pathetic and misguided, but good.
Come and see how I've got on with the orchard.
Jazz, I'd like to sleep with you.
Why?
I don't have to tell you.
No, you don't. I don't think it would be wise.
I'm not looking for wisdom. Oh, okay, cook dinner. I'll go and admire your orchard on my own.
What are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
Replanting.
You can't do that.
They were in straight lines. It's supposed to be an orchard, not a regiment.
You've killed them.
No. And if I have, it's better than them living like that.
You had no right to do that.
I've done it now. And another transplant might be one too many. Accept it. Won't dinner be burning?
The stove will switch off.
Tell me.
I was sent here. When I told them Barbara was going to Maken, they sent me here. My people.
Okay.
We've tried legal challenges, we've tried boycotts and mass banning, we did the human chain and stitched ourselves together.
With kids in it, I remember. Very bloody.
can I use your argument?
To manipulate me? Why not?
You know that only the rich, only the approved, will get the upload, the upgrade. And that's what it is. Under the veil, under this mourning disguise, it's a push for immortality for the privileged few. While the rest of us meat beasts are outside servicing the machines they're stored in.
There are too many stories like that. With you as the last best hope of humanity. How are we going to stop the nefarious plot?
The usual way.
The usual way. We're not allies. They're misguided. You're wrong, you holy men. You've been wrong for thousands of years. You haven't had a moment to draw breath and think. You've been so busy shouting instructions to the rest of us.
It's me you're talking to.
It's not you. You're spoken through. You're inspired.
And you're singular. You're alone and pure and untouched.
Untouched by you, sadly.
I'll tell you what the plan is.
Do.
We have a series of these events lined up. Or maybe we don't. Maybe this is the only one. I don't know. Maybe this is a diversion. Maybe it's a waste of time. The important thing is that you want him to rest. You want him to rest in peace.
And?
That's it.
Doesn't sound like much of a plan. It's not a plan.
It's simple. You walk in.
I walk in. Me?
You.
Not you.
You have access.
I won't do it. I won't harm anyone.
He's not anyone. He's not anybody. Just information. That's what you think. Or a trapped soul, which is what I think. Either way, the outcome will be the same.
There are people in the building. If I leave something behind...
You don't leave anything behind. It happens while you're there. Finger on the button. It's a white device, a very simple one. You understand, like an EMP device. There's no physical damage at all to anything or anyone, just electronic erasure. All the information in the building is wiped out. Perfect. No harm done.
And nobody gets hurt, especially not me.
An EMP device only affects electronics, won't cause a ripple in a coffee cup.
They'd catch me. It's years for those crimes.
You look so tired, Rachel.
Don't be kind to me. Don't.
Poor Rachel.
I am here to answer your questions.
Do you ever have a feeling of déjà vu?
The body scan does no known harm.
Why do I need to have a full body scan?
For security and other purposes.
Have I met you before? I have. Do they give you people surgery to make you look alike?
Do you have metal implants?
No. Do you remember me?
Plastic implants?
No, I'm becoming quite fond of you. Can we meet for a drink?
Any other kind of implant?
No.
The scan is completed.
It's not my father in there, you know. It has to be possible to tell the difference between something real and something faked. What do you think?
What do I think?
Your personal opinion, yes. Don't appear yet. I know you're watching me, but don't. Not yet. What an incredible room. Marble pillars and velvet drapes. Very grand. Is she serious? Is she being sarcastic? But Barbara has no sense of humour. That's what you always said, didn't you, Dad? What goes on between you? Would they allow her to torture you, I wonder? Are people allowed to do that with their dead? Do they shout the same accusations at them? Force them to make the same abject apologies? Wring the same appalling confessions from them again and again? It's never enough, is it?
No.
Huh? There you are.
You look...
I know what I look like.
I'm worried about Barbara, too.
No, you're not.
I feel as though I am.
You're so handsome.
Yes.
Daddy,
Yes, Pet?
come out. Come out of there. Click your heels together. Close your eyes and believe as hard as you can and just step through the looking glass. Come out here. If you loved me, you would.
I wonder what it's like out there. Is it cold? Is it hot? Tell me something.
Would you like to get out?
Yes.
Is there a way you could escape? Could you build a metaphorical escape tunnel? A way back? Not to us, not to the real world, but out to the living web where you could move and breathe. Well, not breathe, exactly, but be.
Is it possible?
Of course not. Besides, have you ever thought what would happen if you did get out of here? This box?
Yes. No. Yes.
Don't think about it. Don't hope. Maken would chase you. They'd find you, they'd break you. You'd fall in fragments right through the dark net. You'd crawl about in the bottom of the world, in the nonsense, the rubbish, the broken code and empty algorithms. How would you survive?
Why are you telling me this? What are you holding in your hand?
Nothing. Look, my hand's empty. Just skin and bone and blood and muscle, that old stuff.
You're crying?
Well, I'm having a moment, but I'm not crying. It's some kind of overflow. What do you do when we're not here?
I do nothing.
What's that like?
What's that in your hand? Inside your hand?
Just me. I've been scanned. Don't call them in, please.
Did you bring a copy of my funeral?
No, I didn't. I can't bear to lose you. That's the truth.
One day, we'll all be together. In a place without sickness and pain, a place of infinite possibilities, in which all that we are or could be will be made manifest. We will conquer death and conquer time.
And after we've done that?
We'll turn into worms and eat ourselves.
I don't think you're supposed to say things like that.
I am absolutely and truly dead. Am I? Absolutely and truly dead.
Are you feeling sorry for yourself?
How does it work? The thing in your hand. You have something in your hand.
They inserted a bone sliver, cultured from my body into my hand. Undetectable. It is me. When I clench my fist, it happens. The bone breaks. That triggers the device. Or rather, it is the device. The device does its work. The stake enters your heart. Everyone else is unaffected. I passed the scanner. How did you know?
Where did you get it from? Who are you working for?
People.
It's ingenious. We are so clever.
So what should I do? Clench my fist? Or keep my hand open?
I should tell you something about your father. William liked to play you off against one another, you and your mother. He liked the fact that everyone always wanted more of him.
George, I was going to ask you.
William thought you'd wasted your life. He thought your political views ill-judged and naive, and he thought the way you abandoned them showed your essential shallowness. He never understood why you thought yourself so superior to your mother. He despised you both. Yes, he was better than you. You thought he stayed with Barbara because he loved her. He pitied her. You're right. He loved the pitiable. You're pitiable. You think you have different reasons for coming here than she does. You don't. Clench your fist.
Are you trying to make me angry?
You don't need my permission. You don't need my approval.
I know.
I'm dying of boredom. I'm dying of boredom all the time. The light is on. It never wavers. Clench your hand.
I can't. I'll go to prison if I do it.
Yes.
Don't you care that I'll go to prison?
Help me.
Who are you?
I don't know. Help me.
They can do terrible damage to the ears.
What?
The sirens. Most ordinary troopers are partially deaf by the time they're 30.
I don't understand.
What don't you understand? Why should you understand anything?
That place, it...
Blast it to hell.
But...
Yes. Try and think. Breathe.
There were people in the building.
55 people, including your cousin. I shouldn't think there were any survivors. It will cause quite a nice stir. The technology we used, rather than the casualty figures. Miniaturized fishing device. Very, very neat.
You lied to me.
That is my burden. Yours is that you betrayed your cousin.
I don't believe this. She's dead.
Yes. But you'll have time to revisit these events, to reorder them, or change their meaning. You'll tell yourself that you didn't guess what we gave Rachel to carry in and detonate.
I didn't.
You'll tell yourself that maybe she suspected and went willingly. You'll tell yourself she's better off dead. You'll memorize the names of the others. I always do. You'll pray for them. You'll pray for yourself. You'll have a crisis. You'll have doubts. You'll curse me, of course. You'll suspect that really we're no different to our enemies. You'll turn traitor and turn back. Because you have nothing else but us. It'll keep you entertained through the long years.
Rachel's dead.
Exactly. It's over. It's done. It can't be recalled or evaded. We can't reset or restore. Dead is dead. We've shown them that.
We have to...
Walk with me.
Where to?
To be arrested, of course. To be martyred. What do you think we're doing here?
Sorry about that. Can you hear me? I know you can hear me. Don't think about it, just speak, just as you always did. Don't think about the mechanics.
What?
That's it, good girl. Next question is... who, then why?
Light.
So they tell me. It's white light. Do you remember me?
No.
Do you remember you?
No.
No, I think you do. I think you remember.
What?
The explosion. Oh, well, doesn't matter. You are, as we say in the real world, dead. Blown into 47 separate fragments, and they were all incinerated. I did the job myself. The funeral was a work of art, high art. Got a lot of compliments.
What have you done?
It's a bit technical. I don't want to bore you.
What have you done?
It's a make and clone program with a few flourishes. Deeply illegal, but that's half the fun.
It hurts.
No, it doesn't. It's ghost pain. That's all. Mind over matter, Rachel. I don't want you complaining. It's taken me years to get this far. I want you to thank me.
Thank you.
Do you love me?
Yes.
Well, lots of people are doing this, you know. I'm not the only one. I'm not alone.
No.
God, it's lovely to talk to you.
Turn it off.
I missed you. I can't believe it. Do you like the body I made you? Do you like the improvements?
I can't see them. I can only see you. Turn it off.
Oh, you're so real. Emotional. We're going to be very happy. I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. This is perfect.
In Perpetual Light by Melissa Murray, Rachel was played by Claire Price, Barbara by Sian Thomas, and Jazz by Khalid Abdalla. William was Sam Dale, Castleford Adeel Akhtar, the leader Sean Baker, George Tony Bell, Counter and the Sat-Nav Claire Harry,